Hello and welcome back. Anybody that's following my videos will have seen this stone wall penjing I've done a few videos on it. I brought it in because I just want to give it a little pruning up again and maybe thin out the tree a bit. It's starting to get a little bit heavy. Excuse me. But the main thing is to show you the wall, how it's holding up. Now I did that wall by using super glue, sticking the stones together with super glue and baking soda. I put a bit of baking soda in this, and when I put the super glue on, I gave it a blast of the baking soda and it dried it out instantly, so it made it a bit easier to make the wall. But I've just got this online. It's an activator to help the super glue grow, harden really almost instantly. So I'm going to give that a go because I want to build another wall, a bigger wall, for another bigger penjing I'm planning on doing. So I'll clean this up and we'll have a look at it, and then we'll just give this a blast and see how good it works and compared to the baking soda, see if it's better or not. The baking soda did have a tendency to leave a little bit of residue after it was done hardened. You see there's tiny bits of it, but it's more or less washed away now. I'm not getting any moss growing on the wall yet. There's a bit maybe on this edge here, it's just starting to take there, you can see. But eventually I presume it will start to cover. But this wall is quite small. I want to make a bigger wall, a much chunkier wall for one of my bigger trees. Okay, so we'll start off with pruning all the little plants and stuff around, and then we will go on to the actual tree itself. Some of them don't need much, just a little bit, just to keep them a little bit in check before they go completely crazy. I kind of don't mind this hanging down over the pot, it's quite nice. Little Chinese elms, we'll just give them a little tidying up. This guy, just separate him a little bit from the Chinese elm, so it's a little separate bush. You see more of the wall there. We'll try and get maybe a bit of moss on top of this, that might help grow over. Again, this Chinese elm here, which is hanging over, just give that a little pruning back. Take some of this longer stuff off this one. Don't want to take that all out. Maybe let's take it back and then let it grow down again. This one is planted in the ground down here. This one looks okay. We can maybe prune it back just a little bit there. This little Chinese privet, not Chinese, is it Chinese? No, honeysuckle. Chinese honeysuckle. Take the size. I'll just prune that one back as well. This guy can get quite big, so big kind of I don't know what you'd call them, leaves say. So we'll just chop them back to smaller ones below. Okay, everything else looks okay. Take that one back a bit more back there. Okay, so you can see the wall now again. Little fox under there. Now the main tree itself, I just want to thin out a little bit. It's just starting to get a little bit heavy looking. So I'll just prune that back slightly. These growing kind of plates wrapping on top of each other, and they kind of lie on top of each other, so it gets kind of thick and congested. So I'm just trying to take out some of the plates kind of thing, so that it's not so congested. Take out some of these ones hanging down. Okay, so I'll go over the tree and I'll give that a prune, and then we'll come back. Okay, so that seems to have thinned it out quite a bit. What I did was I just thinned out the branches, and then I've just gone in and got hold of them and just pinched the tips like that of all of the branches, so it's kind of thinned it out quite nicely now. You can see through it, won't be long filling in. Let's just give you a look at the garnish cam, as Blue Jay calls it. So that's how much we've taken off. Okay, so we'll move this to one side and we'll get up our stones and we'll see about starting a new wall and see how this new stuff works, and see is it better than the baking soda. Okay, so I brought a bag of stones from the drive at work. Let's take out a bunch of them for now to start with, and maybe best put them on this down here. I got this piece of aluminium, it's got like a coating on it. Okay, so we got our super glue, we got our spray, so let's see how we get on. So what I normally do is I'm basically building the back of the wall, so when I take it off, the front of the wall will be the flat part which is on the board. So let's get started. We'll just start. You're just going to start by sticking a couple together. Let's see how this guy does. Hasn't said it straight away. Might not be the best super glue, this actually. Let's get a different one. I'm starting to set it now, but it's coming out quite thick, that super glue. Let's try a little tube here. See if this works any better. Yeah, it seems to stick okay. So what I'm looking for is anything with a flat surface that we can use as basically our front. You don't have to worry too much about them touching a lot at the moment, because they're only going to be touching right in that tip there. This glue will come out. That glue's quite thick too. And then what I do is I'll put another one on the top there like that. Collect this one seems a bit runnier. Put a couple of dabs on there. I'm hoping is this stuff gets in easier, because trying to get the baking soda into the gaps, you'd be kind of blowing it in. Wasn't it? It seems to be working good. Wasn't easy. Whereas this being an aerosol, will hopefully blast it in, kind of thing. You've got to kind of picture it as a wall would be. You don't want it just pile all the stones in. You've got to kind of picture it what way they would build a wall. You could just make a kind of framework and just fill it with stones and do it that way, but it wouldn't be as good looking, I don't think. You gotta try and build the wall but backwards. So, and you gotta kind of get the stones kind of horizontal. Let's show you know what I mean. So your stones are all kind of like this. You don't want them just, I don't think it look as good if they were kind of all angles and things. You want to try and get them in some bit kind of a row, like the way the stonemasons would have done it back in the day. Once you have a few stones together, it starts getting a bit easier, because then you've got something to work with on top of, so you can keep building like this. Stuff definitely seems to work a bit better. It's a lot easier. Gets right in, blasts into it. So you can see now how to start with a stone wall. We'll just keep building it up and building it out thick as well. Okay, so I'll do a bit and then we'll come back and have a look. Okay, so we're starting to get somewhere. You can see it's pretty solid. Now we can glue some bigger rocks like this on the back here, one to hold the wall up straight and two just to give it a bit more stability. So we'll just put that big one in there. This stuff seems to work pretty good. Alright, I think the idea is not to spray too much on. I think when I spray too much on, it tends to go too wet. So that will hold the wall up straight there now. Maybe put another one over here somewhere. See, that baking soda works fine. It's just it kind of coats the outside of the glue. So if you've got a kind of a blob of it, this tends to do it a little bit quicker and a little bit cleaner. Okay, so we have our wall started like that. Now we want to build it out as well. We don't want it a skinny little thing like this. Like my other one was quite thin, because it was just going to be a small wall, but I wanted to try and make this quite a wide wall. So we'll probably just fill out the bottom with heavier stones, and that will give us a kind of a foundation then to build up on. A little bit further away, it might work a bit better. So now we have a bit of a foundation, we can start building it up. The back of it doesn't really matter what way the stones are going to be, you're not going to see these are all going to be buried. So you basically just need to pack it in. All these kind of roundier stones which are not really suitable for working at the front, we can use these. And then with a straight edge like this one, a bit of a straight edge, that'll fit in really nicely. So we'll just begin to have a bit of glue around. So yeah, seems to be working good. We'll keep going, we'll see how we get on. Okay, we're slowly but surely getting there. I'm kind of thickening up the wall a bit now, giving it a bit of strength. Again, the last one, what I did was I put a few rocks like this, and then I did have a couple, maybe ones to thicken the wall by about 2 abreast kind of thing, and then I backfilled behind it. But this wall, I'm thinking of not backfilling behind it. I'm going to have it so that the wall is kind of, well, it'll be backfilled just a little bit, but it's going to be basically straight on both sides. And my plan is to maybe, it'll be kind of it won't be like the other one is kind of buried in like this. This one will be standing up on the earth more, and then I might make like an old wooden gate, or I'm toying with the idea of doing the sycamore gap tree. So maybe I'll build the wall to use for that. I'm not too sure yet, but this was just to see how this stuff works, and it obviously works pretty good. This still works good too. It's just not as easy to get in amongst the gaps as this stuff just sprays it in. I just bought that online, and it sprays in easily, and it's less messy and finicky. So I will think about it, and we'll what my plan is. It won't be obviously till next spring that I do use it, so I've got plenty of time to build the wall, and I'll just keep, when I get a chance, do a little bit more building until eventually we have a nice bit of a wall built, and I'll just keep updating you when I'm making videos, show you how it's getting on, if I've done any work on it. So okay, that was just a quick video on building my new wall for the new penjing, which I haven't decided yet. I don't even know which tree I'm going to use, but I have an idea of a couple of trees I want to use. This one worked out really well, so I do like it, and I just think with a bigger wall, thicker wall, standing proud of the ground, maybe not as much miniature plants and stuff on the top of it. and try and get the moss growing on it, it'll look pretty good too. So that's my kind of plan for the new one. One thing I might do is just give the trunk of this a little cleaning off. It's got a bit of moss growing up it. Moss is mentioned to grow up the tree, not on the wall. But I think a lot of the problem is the wall is completely covered. I think where it's not covered, like here, you can see the moss growing around the stone. And I think if the rock was more, like you can see that this wall is only very thin. Look, there we get him off. This wall is only quite thin. It's only really one stone thickness. Kind of goes back. There's a few bigger ones below. But no, this look there. This look seemed to like it anyway. But yeah, the next wall I want to make it quite thick and a solid wall, so that we can maybe, like you said, put a little gate on it, or build it like the Hadrian's Wall next to the sycamore gap tree. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you on the next one. I'll keep you updated with the wall as I'm doing it bit by bit. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.